and a few other platforms. I'm not fully in charge of absolutely every single platform that we're live on. And I know that some of you share. So why don't you all go ahead and share now. If you're on Facebook, just hit the share button, share with everyone that you know. And I'm going to go live right this second on TikTok, which is where all the crazy and stupid, immature stuff comes from. But it's still very entertaining for myself when we're dealing with these idiots. So, John, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. We're going to go live on TikTok now. It's counting down. So we've got ourselves a 3 and a 2 and a 1. And I think we're live. Hello, TikTok. It never actually says if we're live when we go live on TikTok. But welcome, everybody on TikTok. We're going to be doing part 4 of your questions answered. If you have a question, throw it in the chat room on Rumble. Throw it in the chat on Facebook, DLive, Twitch, wherever it might be. If you're on Facebook or Twitch, the question that you ask will appear on my software here. And if you are on TikTok, it'll appear on the phone up here. So my eyes, once again, will shift from here on the phone, on TikTok, down here to the PC for all of the other platforms. We greatly, greatly appreciate you all being here. Question number 1. What are your thoughts on the Coutts 4? Well, for those who don't know, on TikTok, 4 men were arrested by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for nothing. They were just going to the town of Coutts, which borders the American border, and the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, were instructed to lie to the public, which they did, and to show a whole bunch of guns which did not belong to those men, and arrest them 528 days ago. They've been in custody that long without a single solitary bit of due process. Like, we haven't even seen their disclosure yet. That's the big problem. What do I think about it? I think tomorrow, August the 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern time, that you should watch the KevinJJohnston show at freedomreport.ca, because we have a former police officer and detective joining us to talk about police corruption in Canada. This guy, he is going to blow your minds. So I highly recommend that you all come on. That way, you'll get a 2-hour answer to the first question that was asked there. And for everybody on TikTok, if you're on TikTok right now, everyone, click the like button. Like. Just keep firing the like button, please. The reason being is that it'll bring more people in and we get more questions. Obviously, I'm going to get more insults as well. TikTok is really bad for insults. Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble are actually quite good for more serious questions. Hello, Chris. Thanks for being here. Chris, can you just let me know if DLive is functioning, please? Very much like, oh, here we got the first block of the day. You idiots that come in here and ask when we got out of jail. When I got out of jail, I was released last year, 18 months ago. Bye-bye to you. All right. So the troublemakers are going away on TikTok instantaneously. Diefenbaker, Bill Davis, and Peter Lougheed would all not approve of you. They're real conservatives. John Diefenbaker is dead. How do you know what he thinks? John Diefenbaker's been dead for a very long time. How do any of you know? Cameron House, you're going bye-bye too. Another left-wing idiot coming in here to just bother people. So goodbye to you. All right. I have no patience for this stupid jail stuff, guys. All right. You understand that the Canadian government has locked me up because I speak. That's it. And all of you are asking, why aren't you in jail? It's not funny. And it's pathetic. And if you bring that question up, you're out of here. If you swear, you're out of here. If you're cracking mother jokes or referencing genitalia, you're out of here. This is about questions, real questions to do with the world, with, thank you, Chris, with the world, politics, health, sciences, education, economy, crypto, gold, silver. We're going to answer questions about that. Yes, government is so corrupt. And there's that idiot Dred Zeppelin again. Again, repeating himself like a toolbox. I never threatened a single human being. I don't do that, period. Because uttering threats is actually a crime. Okay. Sorry, but you're all over the internet. Thank you. I know that. I'm all over the internet. When you're a public figure, you tend to be all over the internet. Champagne Andy, I heard you threaten people. You heard wrong. If you get your news from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, you are dumb. You will be dumber for it. They lie. That's all that they do. They don't like me because I'm a real journalist. You guys got to remember, they are terrified of a real journalist who will actually put a microphone in front of people and ask serious questions. Okay, Champagne, you're out of here. You're just here to bother people. Get lost, and there we go. All right. And it's funny how on TikTok, when they come in here and they start tossing insults, they quite literally have nothing to say other than a couple of there's nothing that you're basing any of your statements on, everyone. So can we just stick to the question? Diefenbaker would be laughing at all the populists. Again, you know nothing about Diefenbaker. He's dead long before you were born. So knock that off. TD727 is asking me about 15-minute cities. Could you maybe elaborate on the question? There's quite a bit I do know on that subject. Mom, yeah, so hard to find a real journalist these days. Well, yeah, because they're not journalists. They are mostly bribed by the Liberal Party of Canada to just espouse garbage, and that's exactly what they do. I've been slandered by every newspaper and TV station in the country, and they've never once contacted me for my side of the story. So that's not journalism. All right. There we go. Good question. What are your thoughts about 15-minute cities? They are digital prisons. That's what they are. What they're going to do is lock you into a certain area, but they're not going to do it with fences and cages. They're just going to do it with cameras and technology. The idea for them is they're going to convince us staying within 15 minutes of our front door is somehow a good idea. It's not at all. Global warming is not a thing, and overpopulation is not a thing, period. What will end up happening is you leave your area. It's going to take a photograph of your face, and it's going to then send you a bill in the mail that you'll have to pay, kind of like the 407 highway in the province of Ontario does. You drive on it, and they send you a bill in the mail. If you don't pay it, you don't get to renew your license plate on your car. That's how they'll do it. You won't be able to buy groceries if you don't pay your fines. 15-minute cities are a bad idea. Global warming is not a real thing. It is impossible, period, at all. There are closer to 6 billion humans as opposed to 8 billion humans, like everyone is saying. They have been threatening us with global warming since the 1970s. It wasn't true then. It is not true now. And electric cars are so far worse for the environment than gasoline-powered cars that they actually should be banned. Lithium mines are dangerous. They're the ones that poison everything. Supernova 1313, you are out of here. All right. Manners. Guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I'm big on good manners. So don't come in here and be rude because you're out. 15-minute cities will do little more than control your life, kill the economy, take everything from you, and make you a good, obedient little sheep that'll do whatever they're told. I would avoid them at all costs. If you know that your city is going to open one of these things up, get out. Southwest Edmonton in Alberta here, that's where they're going to start the pilot program in Western Canada. Can I see your science degree or credentials to be saying this? I'm not going to let you into my house to have a look at them. You're not going to be able to see any of my certificates. You know why? Because I know that when I show you all the educational certificates and or whatever I've got, you're going to call those educational institutions and harass them. So the answer is no, you can't. But what you can do is you can go back and watch the last 6 years of my videos, which is on my BitChute channel. Type in my name, KevinJJohnston.com, and you will see that I have been right for the last 6 years on everything that I have said. And there we go. Oh, by the way, Ginger 10, whatever you are, let's see yours. What are your credentials? You're going to come in here and tell us what? That you know better than I do? What credentials do you have? All right. When was the last time you changed your mind on something that you believed? That's the best question I've ever been asked on this platform or any other. I'd have to think about that. You know, I know for, well, okay, I'll start with a basic one. There's one that I know for a fact. When I was 18, we were told that plastic bags and styrofoam containers were bad for the environment. We were told that chlorofluorocarbons in our air conditioning, Freon, was going to rip the atmosphere apart and so on. And you know, it frightened us a little bit when we were kids. I'm not going to lie. I was 18. I was subject to the same propaganda pollution that everybody else was. So I changed my mind after doing my research into the manufacturing processes of styrofoam. I thought, there's no problem here. And Freon disperses in the atmosphere more so than helium does. So there's no way for it to interfere with ozone in any way. So I changed my mind from there was a problem with the world to understanding that there is no problem with the world. That did happen. That would be about 1991. I would honestly, and feel free to ask that question again, because I am going to put some thought into it. If my mind was changed on something severe in the last 6 years, I really just offhand can't think of one. And that's me telling you the truth. But ask again. Okay, next. Unfortunately, most of the comments are from brainwashed people. Right. Propaganda, if your IQ is low, is very difficult to evade. It's very difficult to ignore. That is why it works. That's why propaganda has been around since Roman times, since Peloponnesian times, since way back to the Babylonians. They would simply use their own propaganda, and the masses, the populaces, would fall for it. Now, propaganda does little more than part you with your money. Propaganda will divide you from your family. If you believe a lie and you want your family to believe it, but they're too smart for it, your family life is now destroyed because of propaganda. And if you want a society paying taxes they shouldn't be paying, divide families and they'll do what they're told. Really. It's literally just making things more accessible so you don't have to own a car for your basic needs. See, you fell for the propaganda. There is no way in hell that I'm going to live within just 15 minutes of any particular place that I live. Now, something that I enjoy doing, I enjoy walking long distances. So if something is within 5 kilometers that I have to do, I'll walk just because I like the exercise. I can walk in 60 minutes, 5Ks in 60 minutes. Most people don't walk, they'll take a car. But I can promise you this, if I feel like going 11 kilometers away, I'm getting in my car and I'm going. And I am not by any stretch going to wait for you to tell me that I can't. I am not going to buy into the idea that somehow human beings are bad for the planet. The planet's bigger than you think it is, and it doesn't care about us. It has survived a lot more than us. And when we are gone, and we will be gone at some point, it's not even going to notice. The wildlife won't care. Mother Nature will just overtake everything. When all human beings are gone in less than 10,000 years, everything we've built will be gone. The planet doesn't care at all. Someone's accusing me of misinformation, so we're just going to get rid of you because you're the kind of person to whine and complain. We don't need that. All right. If you're telling me that it's misinformation, tell me what I said that was incorrect with a fact. Don't just come in here and make accusations. Will you consider running again for mayor in Calgary or another city? I answered this yesterday. I'll give you the short version today. If somebody comes in who's willing to fund the entire campaign and brings professionals, professional marketeers, professional fundraisers, a professional campaign manager who's not looking just to steal money from the campaign, yes. If not, no, I'm not going through that again. All right. Keep your fear-mongering for your grift. You see, again, that's a false accusation. I don't fear-monger. I want you to not be afraid of the propaganda. So let's just get rid of you. I told you guys, when you come in here and you make stupid false accusations or you swear, you're out. All right. I don't do profanity. And something else that I don't do is sarcasm. So I'm going to answer that question now because that just popped up in the email box. Sarcasm. Why do I hate sarcasm so much? Because it is the weakest form of communication known to mankind. It is horrendous. Sarcasm isn't funny. It's not playful. It's not flirtatious. It doesn't inspire any good feeling at all. Sarcasm is vitriolic. It's nasty. It's poisonous. It is meant to hurt. So when you're being sarcastic to me, I will recognize your sarcasm immediately, but I will act on the statement that you've made. And this has cost a lot of people a lot of headaches for me, where I'll say, would you like to park your car in this parking lot? No, I'm going to park 4 streets away. No problem. Get out of here. Yeah. And now you're going to park 4 streets away. Why be sinister? Why be sarcastic? Why not just answer the question politely? Good manners will get you everywhere. Believe me when I say this. So sarcasm would be the height of bad manners. I equate sarcasm in your delivery of an answer to a question as the same thing as you crapping in your own hand and smearing it on a white wall. That is exactly how I see it. There are a lot of us that see it that way, by the way. So sarcasm, and take it from a former stand-up comedian who used to sell places out. If you are sarcastic, in your act, you get fewer laughs and fewer tips. Believe me, it's not funny. Okay. We have the right to freely travel within our country. Yes, we do. And that is why the 15-minute city is a horrendous idea. Even the Charter of Rights and Freedoms says you have the freedom to work and live in any province in the country and travel anywhere within the country. It does say that. We do have those rights. Do not surrender those rights. Global warming is not a thing. The planet will never run out of black oil. There's nothing wrong with the trees. There are more trees in Canada today than 1978. We're going to be fine, everybody. Fine. All right. I'm just going to keep going through here. There's a lot of comments here, folks. This is meant to be questions. If you have a serious question that you need answered on a specific subject, phrase it like a question, please. All right. So many people have to commute to work by car. How does that work within a 15-minute city? You will be taxed, or you'll be given a ticket every time you leave your zone. Manchester, England, everyone, is going to do this first. What they're going to tell you is that you can leave and re-enter your area 100 times per year, per calendar year. So from January 1 to December 31st, you get 100 times you can leave the gates. Anything after that, you get a ticket. And if you don't pay it, they will clamp your vehicle, which is those big yellow clamps they stick on your tires, until you pay the fine. It's just theft. It's control and theft. It's going to kill the economy of wherever it is implemented, because when you're not free to travel your own way and spend your money where you want, everybody suffers. Okay, BitChute. Yes, I'm on BitChute. Type in my name, KevinJJohnston with the T.com. It'll take you to my BitChute channel. There's 6 years worth of videos there, about 2,200 videos roughly. All right, so another stupid question here. Didn't you harass companies and facilities? No. No, you see, the government charged me with that, and those charges got thrown out. The media said I did that, but they never asked me for my question. And after all the charges got dropped by the Crown or tossed out by the judge, the media never did the follow-up story to say charges dropped. They don't do that. That's called propaganda. So no, but that question is designed to be irritating. So refrain from that, please. I've already answered that in the last 3. Okay. Nobody's watching your videos, bro. Again, opinions vary. Thank you for that. You are, by the way, you showed up here. I didn't ask you to come. Okay. Hello. Oh, hello, Mardar. Thanks for being here. This guy looks like he is from Alberta. I am currently in Alberta, but to address where I'm from the province of Ontario, born in Toronto. Moving on. Charter of Rights and Freedom says I can go wherever I want within my own country. Yes, until 15-minute cities become law. And if they write 15-minute city rules into the charter, guess what happens? Your rights are gone. Don't let that happen. Okay. Oh, someone's asking a stupid question here. So Vicarina 22, you're a jerk. No biography, no photograph. Time for you to go. All right. Bye-bye. Love you, sir. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Alberta is the Texas of Canada. Yeah, that's a fair comparison. There are more conservatives in Alberta than any other province in the country. There's a lot of oil here. There's a lot of beef, a lot of cows. Alberta beef is the best in the world. I can tell you that. Okay. And someone's telling me here I know nothing about overpopulation. Sure I do. It's my job. I'm a journalist. I do the research. All right. A couple things here. First, planet Earth can support 1 trillion human beings or more. There are that many natural resources. There is that much fresh water in there. The soil is that good if we have the right socioeconomic structures in place. It can. Don't worry about it. But because every single country that gets richer, the trend has been throughout all of history, they have fewer kids. There will never be 12 billion people alive or more at one time. As each country gets richer, the number of children drops below 2 per family. So don't worry about it. Everyone, just chill out. Relax. Planet's going to be fine. By the way, I decided, because I knew this was going to come up today, I decided to tell you what the birth rates are. All right. These are the 20 lowest birth rates in the world right now. Portugal, 9 births per 1,000 people. That's low, man. That is low. Hong Kong, 8.9. Romania, 8.9. Croatia, 8.9. Bosnia, 8.8. Bulgaria, 8.7. Germany, 8.6. Italy, 8.6. Macau, San Marino, 8.6. Greece, 8.4. Taiwan, South Korea, 8.3. Slovenia, 8.2. Puerto Rico, 8.1. Japan, 7.7. That is incredibly low. Whoa. St. Pierre, 7.0. And Monaco, 6.6. Birth rates are dropping all over the world. That includes Iran. That includes Saudi Arabia. Absolutely includes Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Absolutely includes Canada and the United States. People are just not having kids because we're too prosperous. All right? So don't worry about it. We're going to be just fine. Okay. I think they had carrier pigeons when you were 18. Everybody has carrier pigeons. That's still in use today. They also had black and white television when I was 18. Not every household had a color TV. We had telephones that you would have to dial at that age. You know, some households, when I was 18, and I know that's an old joke, but that's okay. I'm going to play along. Some households had gramophones. We had record players, and some households had a gramophone where you would crank a handle like this and a steel disc would rotate with pins knocking little bells. Yeah, all that stuff was available back then. Okay, someone says 100 times per year of leaving your zone doesn't work when we work 5 days a week. That's exactly correct. You're going to work to pay fines. That's all that it's going to be, everybody. Okay. How was the woods, Kevin? Oh, yeah. See, another guy who's too afraid to put his own face on his avatar. So we're going to get rid of you. Bye-bye. If you're going to be crass or callous, at least have the guts to show us your face, okay? My face is shown everywhere, and I do so proudly. All right, I'm going to now go to all the most recent questions. I've missed about 99 of them here. Holy smokes. TikTok is crazy for commentary. Whoa. I wish Rumble was this busy. All right, next. All right. Even if we are all fertile, we're still choosing not to have children. Yeah, you know, I personally speaking would love to have 10 more kids. I truly would. I mean, being a father is the greatest thing I ever did. It is a magical time of life. Not ever once were my children a burden to me at all. I'm telling you, I would race home just to go and see my kids and hang out and play hide and seek and play Lego and play whatever it is, man. Having children is amazing. So you've got, regrettably, a whole lot of left-wing nut jobs out there that tell you that having a family is a bad thing, it gets in your way and so on. But really, in my 30s, my children were toddlers. What the hell would I be doing with my time in my 30s? Going to the bar? Go to the strip joint? Why? Hanging out with a bunch of single guys talking about what? Chicks? Cars? Yeah, that gets boring. It truly does. But teaching your children how to walk and then skate on rollerblades and then ride a bike and swim, all those moments are magical. If any of you out there believe you shouldn't have kids, I'm telling you, it is the greatest thing in the world that you can possibly do. Okay. All right. So, Margaret, I've done a lot of videos on 15-minute cities. We did a full 2-hour show on that. I've answered a couple questions on them. You can go to freedomreport.ca when this live TikTok is done. And that's my Rumble page. The video is being simulcast there. I leave everything up on Rumble for you afterwards. Okay, what we got there? I'm running a business and building my life the way I want as a person with no kids in my 30s. Okay, that's your right. And if that's what you want in life, by all means, push it to its limit. Whatever it is you're doing in life, everybody, today, if you love what you do it to its maximum. Go right to your maximum potential and then push beyond that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you that I personally would much rather, if I was given the choice between being single and having 50 girlfriends or, you know, being married with children, I'd always take the married with children. It's a phenomenal time. People are having less children because we're higher educated. No, that's not it. People would have 5, 6, 10, 15 kids in the past because people 150 years ago liked to have sex as much as we do now. They just didn't have access to condoms and birth control. Birth control pill didn't come out till about the 60s. So we are having fewer kids And let's just call it what it is, because of selfishness. We all want to have sex, but we don't want the responsibility that goes with it. We have condoms and birth control pills and spermicide and dental dams and all of these things available to us. That's why we're not having kids. Also, there's more things. Netflix, Spotify, Disney Plus, all this junk that wastes our time. We have all these distractions now. And a lot of people think that Netflix is more important than their children or having children. That, oh, a crying baby will take me away from a movie. Well, yeah, a crying baby will take you away from a movie for 15 minutes, 20, 22 minutes, whatever it might be. So what? Huh? Go back to the movie when it's all said and done. You know, you're not dead because a child cries. We're having fewer kids. Yes, we're smarter than we were 100 years ago. That's starting to change, though. We're getting dumber, honestly. But we're too prosperous. We just have too much stuff that we can do, too many things to occupy our minds. That's why people are not having kids. My adult children, as well as my friends' children, don't want kids. I feel sorry for them. I do. I feel so sorry for them. So I tell you what, any women out there right now who are single, who are 30 and up, because I don't like anything under 30 is a kid. Forget it. You want to get knocked up? Give me a call. I want more kids. Let's do that. 15-minute cities have been around since 1800. Reserve were a the reserves. You're talking about native reserves. Very interesting point. Philosophically speaking, I'd have to think about what you just said and come forward with an opinion, which right now I don't have. So thank you for jarring my head here. That's actually a pretty cool statement. I raised children off this planet once they came out perfect. They weren't tainted Neanderthal idea. I don't fully understand that. If you could rephrase it as a question, I absolutely will address that. Thank you. Nell, keep up the honesty. People need to hear this and wake up. Enough of the lies propagated by the globalists and the politicians. Neil, you are correct. I wish there were more people like me that had a very, very big mouth, and I do have a big mouth, coming out here and spewing what I'm spewing, which just happens to be the truth. And that just so happens to be something that irritates left-wingers so much they'll go to violence so as to have me not be able to speak. Why is convenience a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. I didn't say not having kids or being prosperous is a bad thing. It's just choices. I'm talking about choices. I'm talking about the choices I made. And I'm telling you, I'm happy with the choices I made. You can make your own choices. I'm hopefully all of you in this room are adults. You can make your own choices. And don't let anyone tell you differently if your choices only hurt you and nobody else. You're fine. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Someone says, oh boy, this guy. You can go. No one's asking you to stay. I'm not forcing any of you to stay here. If you don't like me or my haircut or my lovely face or my amazing attitude or whatever it might be, you don't have to stay. You know, how many TikTok channels are there? 30 million? You've got a lot of choices. How many radio stations out there? How many television stations? How many cable TV networks are there? You have everything under the sun. You chose to be here. And I'm laughing at you for making that stupid comment, by the way. Is God real? It's real to some people. Not to me. But if there was a God and I had to face him after death, I'd have so many questions for the guy. I would rifle questions off like you wouldn't believe. He'd be fed up of listening to me and he'd send me back to earth for something. I'll tell you, he wouldn't want to talk to me at all. No, I'm not interested in God. I'm interested in spirituality. I'm interested in life philosophies. I'm interested in doing the right thing as often as I possibly can. I'm interested in experiencing everything that this life has to offer where I am not hurting people. That is what I'm interested in. I'm in no hurry to find out, believe me. All right, next. Ways were simpler back then. Well, I suppose, you know what? Yes, socioeconomically, 1988 backwards was simpler because we were unified under one particular culture. Canada had its own national identity and its own ideas, its own idealism. The United States had their own. France had their own. We've watered all that down with this multicultural crap, which is the worst idea in the history of our species. It is terrible. It's wrecked us. So we're more complicated, but for no good reason, other than some people felt guilty and we said, well, let's give everybody a chance. What a condescending attitude that is. Condescension has destroyed us. Condescension and left-wing ideologies have made life complicated. When we were all conservatives, or the majority of us were, yeah, things were easier. Condoms have been around for hundreds of years. They've been around for thousands of years. thousands. They used to be made of sheep intestine, thousands of years. But it doesn't mean that everybody knew that they existed. And it doesn't mean that farmers in the middle of Saskatchewan or Montana knew that they existed or had access to them. So there you go. That argument's been kind of shot down. Bah ha ha. Kevin thinks dental dams prevent children. No, they prevent herpes from being on your mouth from cunnilingus. I happen to know that. All right. Is that the only thing you know? Ha ha ha. Happy face, laughy face with the tears. It's, you know, having a laughy face with tears doesn't mean you've won a damn thing. That's a Twitter tactic, by the way. Being childless also doesn't equal being single, though. My partner of 13 years also doesn't want kids. Okay, so the two of you are in a relationship where you agree on a very important subject. Congratulations. That means that you are in the correct relationship for you. Good. That would not be the correct relationship for me in my 30s. It just wouldn't. But I'm happy for you, honestly. Kevin hasn't been laid in 20 years. Do you have any evidence to back that up? Now go on. People in Facebook and Rumble and so on. Do you honestly think that I haven't been intimate with somebody in 20 years? Oh, you wound me, I am Clark Man. But because you want to talk foolishly, we're just going to get you out of here. That's not even a question. Block. Confirm. Okay. I don't have a picture, but I want to know why nobody reports on Trudeau having an affair with a child. 3 children. 3, not 1, 3. Trudeau is a very odd individual. He is a pervert. He's definitely a pedo. He is someone who just wants to get his way all the time because of his grandfather's money. Not his father's influence, but his grandfather's money. So he, the media doesn't talk about him being a pedo because he bribed all the media in Canada. 1,500 plus media outlets got money. They shared the better part of $500 million to hide stories like that, which they've done. And that's why we call CBC fake news. How many kids is too many kids? I have 4. I have an idea of an answer. Well, if you've got the money, then there is no limit to that. If you don't have the money, 4 is a lot. I mean, I know people that have 4 kids, and they do spend a lot of money on a lot of things. If you're going to have a higher number of kids, then what you need to do is make adjustments to your life and your existence. For example, going to restaurants is something that you may only do once a month. You'll have a lot more cooking at home as a result. That's one way to save a bundle of money. They're going to get hand-me-downs with hockey gear. So the eldest gets the gear and the gear gets moved its way down between all the kids. But ultimately, I'm going to tell you the truth about children. They don't want you to shower them with gifts. They want your time. They want your attention and they want your love. So if you're available for them emotionally and just time-wise, your kids are going to be fine. You can have as many as you want. All right. Maya, your girl, thank you for sharing the live. Everybody on TikTok, share this right now. Share the live right now because we want to get more questions going on here. Getting a job way back was simple. Now, a ton of education doesn't mean you get a job. Excellent point. Let's go back to 1900. In 1900, if you had a high education with a large vocabulary of 20,000 or more words, you would run the world. Like nobody could stop you. You were rich just by default. That changed around the 1980s, where everybody had access to more education. The internet wasn't around yet, but bulletin boards online were. So people were dialing into each other's computers and sharing ideas. Libraries started popping up all over the place. So there was more information available. And now there's information available everywhere. And with the internet, everybody is slandering everybody. Everyone is lying all the time. And everybody can't wait to tell you what their particular political views are. So now we are hiring, not based on skill or merit, but we're hiring on political idealism that we believe the person to have. And I can tell you, I would actually, today, I would be guilty of that myself. So if I had a business that was rip-roaring and rocking, and I was hiring, I would look at applications. The second or third question would be, who did you vote for? And I would put down Biden or Trump. And if you said Biden, I would toss your application out the door because you're a conservative Democrat-style thinker. I don't want that headache in my life. I'd also have questions in there like, how many genders are there? And then below that, how many sexes are there? And let's see which one of those you answer. If you click anything in gender, I'm tossing out your application because you're dumb. If you click on sex, you're someone that can read between the lines. You're clever. That application moves off to the interview phase. Okay, so you are correct. It's tougher. But it's not just tougher to get a job, it's tougher to hire good people. All right, so let's just say you get the correct ideologue working for you. It doesn't mean they've got the skill set. So we have to worry about skills and politics now for every single job that we're hiring for. Okay. I don't want to talk about the children thing anymore, everybody. I would argue that having too many children is not okay for the children. They're always going to have friends. They're always going to have someone they can talk to. I would say 25 kids would probably be a problem. 11 or 12 might be a problem. But sibling rivalries have always existed since our species was created. Eventually, they're either going to work it out or they're not. That's it. I have family members, blood relatives I don't talk to anymore. And I have blood relatives that I do. That's just how it is. Human beings have to decide for themselves who they want to be involved with and so on once they become adults. Ha ha ha. Yeah, the left is violent. Yes, they are. Black Lives Matter. Beat people up, stab people, shoot people. Antifa shatters property, beats people up, stabs people, shoots people. The Communist League of Ottawa does the same thing. Conservative Christians, conservatives in general, Trump fans don't go out beating people up. They just want to go to the rallies and be left alone. Right? The left wing are fascists, they're communist Marxists, and they are violent. And they shut down free speech whenever they get an opportunity. Here's a good question. Neil's asking me, do you think Trudeau will call an election soon or ride it to 2025? His popularity is now at the lowest it's ever been, probably the lowest, Neil, of any politician going currently. If he calls a snap election, his party will lose. He knows that. So he'll ride it out as long as he can with this fake majority that he has with Jagmeet Singh. Okay. How can we stop this from happening? I'm not following the question. How do we stop what from happening? Could you elaborate? And I'll answer that question. Is it true all right-wingers are closeted homosexuals? You don't think that at all. You're just asking it to be a jerk. So let's just pitch you. Of course, the answer is no. Oh, look at that. No followers, no likes. You created that account just to come in here and make that stupid statement. So you're out of here. Honk, honk. I think that means hello. So hello. The globalists ruined our great low-cost coal power grid. Now we're paying more for electricity. Billionaires, I covered this yesterday, when they're bored and they have a rotten disposition, yeah, they will interfere with global pricing. And they've got the power to do so because everybody will do what they say because they want something from them. That's the truth. Money will get you anything. Money will get you anything that you want from other human beings. Believe me, it will. You are deleting things people say, comma, coward. Calling me names isn't going to make me what you call me to be. And I told everybody before, there are select subject matter we don't talk about here. If you want to be rude, vulgar, crass, cynical, if you want to throw insults and make false accusations, that's not free speech. That's just being a dick. All right? So I get rid of those people. Gone. And besides, this is my channel. I'll do what I want. You don't want to be here? Get lost. No one's asking you to stay. Okay. Okay, but killing the planet. What's killing the planet? Human beings are incapable of killing the planet. Did you know that if we launched every single nuclear missile we have today, 40,000 warheads, that within 25 years the planet would recover? There's nothing that we can do to destroy this planet, no matter how hard you think they're trying. People are not actually trying to destroy the planet. They're just trying to make money. That's all that it is. Why don't just stay quiet and live off the grid? Do us all a favor. There will be a day when I do, when I just disappear and relax for the rest of my life with no social media, no internet. I'm not going to care about anything. But that day is not today. I like what you say as it is. Good. Keep up the good work. Got to go. Thank you for that. Certainly do appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, people are going to try to accuse me of being a racist and so on. The trolls, for some reason, always show up here. It's ridiculous. Let me just check the other chat rooms, everyone. Okay. PPPC Warrior. Okay, I'll address that one for you quickly there. My relationship with the Lord is one that I'm very happy with currently. I am. You don't need to understand it because I don't think you would if I explained it to you. And that's okay, because I doubt that I would understand your relationship with the Lord. Let's just leave that be. Understand I'm very happy with my decisions and my beliefs. And I know that you're happy with yours. So I am happy for you. All right, moving on. Air pollution is not a problem in Canada due to coal. Air pollution is not a problem in Canada due to anything. Nothing. Okay? Period. There are not enough human beings on the planet to cause the problems that they tell us are happening. There just aren't. If you want to see major population being a problem, the mathematical statistics are we'd have to have more than 3 trillion human beings not being conscientious. Trust me, with less than 40 million people on the second biggest landmass in the world, most of which is boreal forest, ice, and mountains, there's no way for Canadians to create any kind of pollution problem at all. Kevin, can you name 3 people who would care if you died? Just 3. We know your kids won't. Yes, your mom. That's 1. And everybody else you know in your family. Get out of here. What an absolute jerk. Just haters, literally wait and watch just to troll. I know. But addressing the trolls sometimes makes this show a little more interesting for everybody, because what happens here is the rest of the people who are conservative, who are not familiar with how stupid people can be, are now getting an opportunity to see how stupid people can be. And regrettably, and this is no insult to smart people on TikTok, but the dumbest of the dumb usually end up on TikTok and Snapchat. That's just how it works. Okay. Thank you for sharing the live, everybody. Greatly. Everyone, share the live, everybody. Let's get the questions in here. Okay. I'm not European, although I am of European descent. I've actually never been to Europe, so I have no answers for you there. Oh, here's one. MAGA stormed the U.S. Capitol beating up cops. No, the Democrats and the FBI set that up. The cops, there's video footage. I showed this on my show numbers of times. The police that police Capitol Hill. So Capitol Hill has its own police force. Let them in, escorted all of them through the building, and they went ahead and did their thing. That was not MAGA at all. That was the Democrats. All right. And all of that's been coming out now. That's why Fox had to get rid of Tucker Carlson, because he was exposing all of that. All right. No, MAGA did not do that. Trump is the establishment too. He signed the jab into order and more censorship. Not censorship. He didn't censor anybody from talking about him. He knew that the more negative press he got, the more votes he would get in the future. He's a smart guy. Negative press is actually quite good. It's worth 10 times the amount that positive press is. And I know this. I've trolled the media in this country, getting them to talk about me. Now, yes, he did sign jabs, but he did tell everybody it was your choice. And I know that the medical establishment lied to him as much as they lied to you and me. The difference is that once he figured out it was a lie, he told people it was a lie. That's why they stole the election from him. Whereas Canadian leadership did not tell the rest of us it was a lie. And I told everybody it was a lie, and I went to jail for that in Canada. That's how Canada works. Do you think Jagmeet Singh will pull the coalition or do nothing until 2025 when he can get his pension? Jagmeet Singh is an extremely dangerous individual. He is a radical far-left maniac. He is essentially a member of Antifa, except he's the leader of the NDP party federally. He will stick it out as long as he possibly can, because so long as he's got a political position, nobody really can kick his ass. He is going to get his ass kicked by the Sikhs and the Hindus, man. They hate him. Indians and Pakistanis and Bangladeshis, they hate that guy. He's also banned from India. If he goes to India, he'll be facing terrorist charges there. So he's a dangerous guy. Yes, he'll stick it out as long as he possibly can. Did you really think you had a shot in hell of winning the Calgary mayor election? I won. I won. Jyoti Gondek is someone that nobody knows. No one knew who she was. She didn't even campaign. Do you know why? Because like Biden, she had it in the bag. She was already told, don't worry about it. You're going to win. I am the mayor of Calgary, but unfortunately, Justin Trudeau had a say in that. That's why she was selected. She was not elected, period. People in Calgary don't even know who the mayor is. So you're telling me she won? Not a chance. Lots of truth coming out today, Kevin. I can tell by the number of trolls. Yes, the more honest I am, the angrier the left-wing nuts get. It's true. And you know, that makes me happy. All right. Because if I'm hated by left-wing nuts, I'm doing everything correct. Okay. You are correct. Stupid people make stupid comments. I can't fix them. You are correct. Their brains are broken and they're going nowhere in life, but that's on them, not on me. I don't have to live with these people. When did you become a climate scientist? Investigative journalist. All right. I talk to real scientists. And by the way, scientist is not a real term. That's just a generalization for people in various fields of study. All right. So I will talk to geologists and meteorologists and experts in their field. Gemologists, when I want to talk about gems, I always go straight to the source for that. And I go to more than 3 sources to get my information from. And then I will disseminate everything that the left wing has said, finding the lies and the holes in their story, and I'll report what I know to be true. There you go. Okay. Laugh out loud, 3 trillion. I don't think you fully understand how big that number actually is. I have a general idea of how big that number is, and I'm telling you that 3 trillion human beings would need to exist to create the climate crisis that they say that we have today. That is what I said. Okay. And Walker New Media, we're aware of how stupid people can be. We've been watching here. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, God bless you for that state. Lefties are dumb, 100%. Okay. Remember the Black Forest in Germany, how a large amount of trees were killed off by acid rain? It wasn't acid rain. It was just a psyop. It's easy to walk into a forest and throw salt, vinegar, bleach, whatever you want to on a vast area. You know, if you want to kill trees, diesel gasoline will do it. And then you can just claim it was any chemical you want. I mean, why was it only 50 acres? Why did it rain in just one spot? It doesn't rain in all of Europe. It's not like the clouds understand borders. So that was horse crap, and I think we all know it. Paul, hey, can you speak on geoengineering and its effect on world climate? Since climate change is one of the hottest topics, why is this topic still not showing up in the media? Okay, geoengineering, Paul, I'll give you an example of one that I do know. In Alberta, there is geoengineering. What you'll find is they're not crop dusters, but like they're Cessna 172s and 150s and so on. They will actually fly into clouds with set chemicals to break the clouds up. Why? Because hail is a huge problem in southern Alberta. It is, and even northern Alberta. It is horrendous. I got caught in a hailstorm when I did own a car, and I thought, you know, this is crazy. So I stopped, I turned around, and I outraced the hailstorm because I know that hailstorm was going to put pockets in the metal and break the windows of the car. So yes, geoengineering breaks up those clouds. So do you know what happens, Paul? It doesn't hail, it rains. So some geoengineering is very good for us. Other geoengineering, such as building aqueducts to bring water into select areas, will make more areas of the planet more arable. But in some cases, geoengineering, such as building dams and cutting off water supply to everything below the river, is not good. Now, some of it's good, Paul, and some of it's bad, but I can assure you, none of it's changing the weather. Paul, to give you an idea of what we would have to do to actually change the weather, there's I forget the name of the project, but it was proposed in Germany after World War I, which was to build a dam across the straits, essentially turning the Mediterranean Sea into an area that they could then drain that entire Mediterranean Sea into the Atlantic, which would raise water levels by about 7 inches. And they would suggest that there would be arable land there. But the problem with that is that type of geoengineering. And somebody look it up. Google, give me the name of that, please, the name of the project. that type of geoengineering, when you remove that much ocean water from that large of an area, would just make all of Southern Europe and the Middle East more arid than they've ever been before. So geoengineering can affect things, but the project would have to be on that large of a scale in order for it to absolutely destroy a certain area of the world. One of the other geoengineering projects that I thought was incredibly interesting, because the Sahara Desert is so big, was to push water from the Mediterranean, build rivers that go inward into Africa so that salt water would evaporate, the salt stays behind, the water goes up, and it would rain in Sudan and Ethiopia and Eritrea and Madagascar and Saudi Arabia and Qatar more than it does now. That's a very interesting idea. I'm wondering why that hasn't been done yet. Perhaps there are climatologists out there who know more than I do. Maybe it's not a good idea, but you don't know until you do these things. And these massive projects I just talked about there, Paul, are too expensive to try, and they will fail. Massive projects like that fail. You know, the Three Gorges Dam in China is already falling apart. That thing might crack and just not be there in 10 years. So what does one do? And besides, I don't have any political power to stop projects like that. Bingo. All right, here we go. You're on TikTok. What does that say about you? It says that I'm utilizing every bit of social media available to me and everybody else to spread the truth to the world. That's what it means. I know how dumb TikTok is. I'm aghast, actually, at the types of things that appear on TikTok. Like, honestly speaking, pranks. These pranksters out there on TikTok who walk up and criminally harass people, and that Mimsy moron in England who walks into people's houses and threatens people. That's what TikTok has done. It's dumbed down a vast swath of our populace. At least I'm here to help make things a bit cleverer. Okay. All right, Paul, you recommend me bringing a climate expert. Paul, I'll tell you what. Why don't you and I talk privately, and let's hunt down some climate experts and bring them on the show. I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. How are you, Kevin? Great. Thanks for asking, Jimmy. Do you live in Mississauga? Vito, I used to. I grew up there. The town sucks now. It's horrendous now. I wouldn't be there if you paid me. So, keep going here. Okay, I'm going to skip to the bottom. I've missed 65 questions here, it seems. See, social media exposed. What about when you assaulted the Loblaws manager? Loblaws? I haven't been inside of a Loblaws in 3 years. Oh, I know what you're trying to say. See, you can't even get your facts right. You mean, what about that time that I was assaulted by a cashier and the owner of a No Frills? That's what you're talking. And when I defended myself, so when the guy assaulted me and I gave him just a tap, just a in the face, that's what you're talking about? It got him to back off. You see, in Canadian law, you are allowed to deliver the same amount that you get. So I got some, I gave him some, I was arrested, they tried to get me on assault, charge got tossed. Isn't that interesting? So No Frills manager assaulted me. You guys saw that live. So what about that time? Here, I'll make something up now. What about that time social media exposed that you picked your nose and it bled all over your mom's carpet? See, I can make stuff up too. You don't like it, do you? Moving on. Yes, cleverer is a word. Smarter is a word. Dumber is a word. Okay. And Illy, Rocky, whatever your name is, you have no likes on any of your stuff, so you're just a troll. I'm going to toss you out the door. Confirm. I'm throwing the trolls out, guys. There's no point being a troll here. Thanks, Paul. I will continue to keep up the good work. Greatly appreciate that. All right. Let's have a look and see what is in the Rumble Room. Kekves, TikTok is a commie platform. Why are you on it? Because Kek, it for some reason brings in the biggest audience for lives. I actually don't even know why that is, but it's just the quickest way to get your name out there. All right. Okay. Do you even think alien UFOs are a psyop to make us argue even more? Just a distraction. That's all that it is. When the Democrats are under investigation as much as they are from all angles, They know they've lied about everything. What's the distraction? Boom, aliens. Aliens. It'll be probably a volcano next week, you know, just what they do. So you just admitted to punching a guy. Yeah, you're damn right. And he whined like a bitch, right? He assaulted me. The assault, in my opinion, wasn't going to stop. So I gave him a nice tap in the face. It wasn't even a punch. If I hit him, if I actually tried to hit him with what I can do, he would have been on the ground and out cold. I'm a former boxer. I know what not to do in a fight. And the last thing I'm going to do is paralyze somebody just because he slaps me. He gave me a hit. I gave him a tap, and that was it. But remember, the court said not guilty. So, bye to you. Next. Why do you think we all saw that live? We don't spend our time watching you. Yes, you do, Andrew. You're here watching me. So there you go. I have to disagree, Marb. Cleverer is Old English. All right, have a look at dictionaries printed before the 1970s. Cleverer is a word. Something I know, guys, is words. Oh, yeah, the soy boy, that no-frills guy, he was absolutely a soy boy. The biggest wimp going. He was just, ugh, wow. Because he was crying. Like, what's your problem? Dude, for real. Like, if you don't want to get punched in the face, don't punch somebody. Right? Don't hit them twice. Don't do that. People will defend themselves. There's a reason why I don't walk around the country touching people or hitting people or shoving people, because someone's going to react. First off, it's illegal. Secondly, it goes against my moral code. And third, there's always someone stronger or better than you. All right? And when they take exception to it and you've got them on the wrong day, you're going to get hurt. There you go. The Dems, LOL. See, this is where the ignorance comes from. Trump has 71 indictments. You think the Dems need a distraction? Yes, they do, because people know that those indictments aren't going anywhere. They're all fake indictments, just like they did. They hit me with 75 charges when I was running for mayor of Calgary, and we beat them all. So think about that. Ramius, whatever your opinion is, the courts did not agree with you on that, all right? The court did not agree that I assaulted anybody. The court agreed I defended myself. So it was self-defense, not assault. You got to get your terms right. Get them right. My God, get them right. This guy is 59. Nope, 51. Close, but no banana. Let me see here. All right, so there seems to be a lack of trolls now in TikTok. I'm going to head over to the Facebook chat room now. Any thoughts about Danielle Smith, the new premier of the province of Alberta? Yeah, she's been quiet. I said she would be quiet. We can expect her not to bring in any new policies or anything radical till after Christmas. So if you are in Alberta, it's you're safe. Like if you want to launch a new business, now's your time, because she hasn't written any new laws to get in your way, and she won't. But next year, she'll cave into the pressure of the World Economic Forum. They all do. Now, I have no faith whatsoever that she is the solution or the savior or the answer to all of our problems. If Danielle Smith was to state that we're now going to try to become the 51st state, then she'd have my full backing. Then we're talking about a real leader. Why do you think they stole the election from you and not one of the other candidates? They stole it from me because they knew exactly what I represented. You see, back in the day, they had this fake thing called this fake pandemic, and they knew that I was going to call it out. They knew that I was going to tell everyone, open your businesses. They knew that I was going to tell the bylaw officers, if you enter anyone's business, you will be arrested and fired. They knew that. So they wanted to make sure, because I wouldn't go along with that narrative, that I couldn't win. All right. Us Albertans got to work together. Well, Jason, I certainly hope that we Albertans do. But people in Canada just don't know how to work together. That's not just Alberta. That's province-wide, country-wide, territorial-wide. It's too bad. All right. World Economic Forum. Justin Trudeau doesn't care that much about Calgary. Not really a hub of industry. Correct. And it's getting worse, not better. Right now, what they're doing is talking about converting about half of the office towers in downtown Calgary into low-income housing. Calgary will eventually just become a slum, the whole city. And sad, because Calgary, It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful city. I love the layout of the city. I like the road system. I like the train. I like the river through town. I like the trails. There's a lot to do in Calgary. It is actually a very cool town. It's not going to be in 5 years. I'm telling you that now. And it's sad. It's going to be like Edmonton very shortly. Okay, keep it going here. Share, everybody. Share, share, share. Share this live out to everyone. I'm going to hang around for about another 15, 20 minutes here. Trudeau is a World Economic Forum puppet. Yes, he is. And he's also an Aga Khan puppet. All right, there you go. Why did you try to flee the country? You're going to keep asking. I have a fatwa on my head. There have been 6 attempts on my life. I have knife scars to prove that. I was attacked at Christmas time last year, or sorry, 2021 with hammers. I had to escape. I got lucky, only that I knew the neighborhood that I was in, and they didn't. So try living that way. All right, attack, 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 attack. It's not easy. I'm still smiling, though. They didn't get me. And each and every time I have fought these guys off, obviously, I've been successful. It's not good, though. This country here harms and physically attacks people like myself who are conservative and have a voice. That's what communism is. That's what Antifa does, by the way, and Black Lives Matter. That's what they do. They attack, and they attack some more. And like a bad marksman, they've all just kept missing the target, haven't they? Move to North Korea, maybe. You first. Let me know how it is. Those hammers were made by Fisher-Price. Right. I'm going to disagree with that because Fisher-Price does not make steel hammers. If you hate Canada so much, why don't you leave? All right. Well, if you're buying the plane ticket, I'm on the first plane out. How does that sound? You get the hotel, you get the plane ticket, you cover all the airport taxes, and I'm gone. Okay? Does that sound all right? Of course, you're going to shoot your mouth off like an ass. All right, let me keep moving on here. All right, did you see Canada has the same as now before 2020? Sorry, Paul, I didn't understand the question. The same what? If you don't mind, could you rephrase that question here? Okay, very good. Why would I pay you? Just why would I pay for you to quit whining? Hey, listen, brother, you're the one whining. I'm not complaining here. You are. So put your money where your mouth is. All right? You're one of those guys that would challenge me to a fist fight. I would agree, and you wouldn't show up. You're one of those. So, Andrew, tell you what we're going to do here. Because you're just being a troll, let's boot your ass. Oh, look at that. 0 likes. You're just a troll. Get out of here. God. Bye-bye. Bye now. There we go. So the trolls get to get going. Kekvest, can you acknowledge that the group you were with at Dawson were heroes? Kek, they were hardworking people, but none of us were heroes, not even me. The term hero gets thrown around so much these days that it's lost all meaning. Someone who is a hero is someone who had no reason to risk their life to save others, but they do it anyway. All right? That's a hero. My life was not in danger in Dawson Creek in 2021. It just wasn't. So I'm not a hero and nobody else was. But I appreciate all the hard work that everybody did. They certainly were hard-working people. Pyro Mike says, all these trolls will pass away soon, Kevin. The vax is, the vaccine will get rid of all the libtards. It will. So if you're a left-wing nut or you work for the Canadian government, COVID's real, monkeypox is real, monkey balls is real, all of them are real. Take 50 boosters. Take more. It's real, okay? Take more. You're right, Mike. Thanks for pointing that out. By the way, if this is the Mike I'm thinking about, join us for pizza on Monday night. I mean, maybe even tonight. Mike, Mike, join us for a slice of pizza tonight, okay? You know where. Don't say where here in the room. Don't. I don't want people trashing the restaurant. Okay, very good. Okay, Mike, so call me after I'm done here. Don't call during the show. Oh, okay. Paul says, did you see the level of corruption in Canada is the same in 2019 as now? Well, I think it's worse now. Canada's always been a corrupt place, but it's really, it's horrendous. I don't know, Paul, where that statistic is coming from, but the level of theft that's going on in just the last 6 months alone, I think outdoes the last 6 years in total. It truly does. All right. Next. How much can you bench press? I covered this yesterday. All right. This morning, I did 265 twice. 1, 2, just to see if I could. All right. There you go. Why is that so important? Trudeau is taking Canada down the road of a dictatorship like North Korea. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's absolutely true. He's a tyrant. And he's a very weak man. And weak men are the ones that go straight to tyrannical forms of government and tyrannical forms of rule. Like, weak men are just the worst thing for the human race because they will do whatever it takes to keep power. And they'll never fight their own battles. They'll never debate themselves out of a problem. They will never solve their own problems. It'll always be weak men get everyone else to do their problem solving for them. BLM. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. We know who they are. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. We've covered this thousands of times. They are well funded, and their goal was to do nothing but interfere with the lives of as many people as they possibly could by bringing a message to the public that wasn't true. Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, those two idiots, they should be in jail for all the traitor calling they've done in the United States. But if you're going to talk about lives, I think all life on this planet matters, including trees. Everything's important. Life is not a very common thing in the universe, and it should be honored and respected. Life is a gift. So I would say every life out there matters. Even the people I hate, their lives matter. I'm not going to say just because I hate you, your life doesn't have any value. But you idiot, okay, and D's nut, I know what your name means. D's nuts 2, 3, 4. It's not funny. You are coming out here and trying to say that black people matter. And you're trying to get it to seem like I'm saying that they don't. Black Lives Matter is the name of a terrorist organization. All right. My first wife was black, you idiot. All right. She was shot in the stomach in Harlem. I lost her. She was pregnant with my son, by the way, you little scumbag. So just get the hell out of here. All right. Okay. What do you think of Canada and the UFOs? Unidentified flying objects. People have been reporting on those since the beginning of time. I mean, people didn't know what comets were. They didn't know what shooting stars were. They didn't know what the Aurora Borealis was. What do I think about UFOs? I don't know. Until some alien comes down and says hello to me face to face, I don't care about UFOs in any way whatsoever. All right. The sons of Odin, everybody, you know what they were? They were a bunch of guys that were bored. And they got together and they had beers. And they played pool. I know. I went to their meetings. They played pool. They talked about cars and chicks and motorcycles and politics. Yeah, they did. Some of them would share ideas on businesses with each other. And they get together and they had, we play darts, pool, whatever. That's it. They're just guys. People. And all lives matter. There you go. Thoughts on Blue Moon this month? I don't know. The moon. It's not going anywhere, so I don't really think about it. Whenever there's a full moon out or a harvest moon, I go, ooh, ah, cool. Look at that. It's beautiful. And then I move on to the next thing. Okay. And Fiz Reg, whatever your name is, you're a troll. Yeah, 2 followers. You're nobody. Get lost. Block. Yeah. The trolls get blocked. And then this James Wilson guy says, of course you did. Let me guess you are a Hell's Angel too. No. But let me tell you about the Hell's Angels. The Hell's Angels is a not-for-profit corporation. All right. You know what those guys, I've been to their meetings, guys. Do you know what they do? They drink beer, they swear, they high-five each other, they play pool, they play darts, kind of like every other association where it's just men in the room. They have a good time. Some of them are criminals, but so are Satan's Choice. So are cops. So are politicians. Every single group has got bad people within it. If I had to trust a Hell's Angel or a Canadian politician, I trust a Hell's Angel hands down, flat out. You know why? They don't want anything from me. That's why. They'll do their own thing. They'll say, hey, you want some drugs? I'll say no. They'll say, cool. They'll walk away. If the politician says, hey, you want some drugs or you want to believe what we're saying to you? And I'll say no, they'll have me arrested. So think about that. Boom, done. And that's the difference between me and everybody else out there, is that I don't judge the Hell's Angels or Satan's Choice or the mongrels or the wild pigs or any group for that matter until I learn what that group is for myself. I just don't join groups. I'm not a member of any group at all. There's not a single solitary organization that I am a registered member of. I refuse to join. I would much rather have the freedom to float from group to group to group and just hang out and have myself a good time and learn what's going on in the world and in these groups for myself. I'm not going to go to TikTok, some troll, and find out from you what the Hells Angels are or what politicians are or what the police are. I'll learn for myself. Thank you very much. You don't have the intelligence quotient to even understand what I'm saying, whoever wrote that. So, done deal. Paul, do you think that China's controlling our elections? 100%. Yes, they are. Joe, hey, Joe, thanks for being here. How am I? Obviously, I'm doing great. Hey, have a look at the smile on my face. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. I'm just going to shoot over to the D-Live room right now. Hold on. Let's see if there's any questions there. And I'm also going to shoot over to Twitch and see what questions we have there. And I'm going to head over to Switchboard and see what questions we have there. Hold on a second. So bear with me on TikTok, everybody. Question. This is D-Live. What is your opinion on dress code within the military now? Do you believe it affects how the other worlds see us? Perfect question. The Canadian military is now going to allow men to wear skirts in uniform. Yeah, the Canadian military is going to allow, not men, males. They're not men. Males to wear makeup and midi skirts and high heels when they perform their duties. It's disgusting. Hey, what's the point of having a military when we got a bunch of fruitcakes? And when I say fruitcakes, I mean stupid, weak individuals prancing around in dresses when they should be in military fatigues, giving a crap about not just their own lives, but the lives of their entire platoon. The idea of being within a military group, whatever you might be, is that you all have each other's backs. A guy like that doesn't have anybody's back at all. What do I think about it? I think it's got to be stopped right now. I think the military needs to speak up and just throw these guys out on their own. Not because we hate LGBTQs, but because we can't stand the idea that somebody has to be an individual within the institution that you willingly signed up for, where you cannot be an individual, because if you are, people die on our side. Think about that. Boot them. If you weren't far right, maybe you would have got a lot more votes. I'm not far right. I hate the far right. The far right is the KKK. Right? I'm just slightly right of center. And Paparoni, or whatever your name is, I won the election. Okay, just so we're clear on that. Okay. So D's nuts, you got to go. You're an idiot. Oh, look at that. 0 likes, no posts. Get out of here, troll. Okay, he's out. Here's another one. Aren't you supposed to be in jail? We talked about this. No. The answer is no. You're getting your news from the CBC. You're a troll, and you're out of here. All right, there we go. Don't worry, guys. Eventually, the trolls will figure out that we don't care about them. All right. Should I learn Chinese and move to China? I don't recommend anyone move to China right now. No. I mean, if you're a world traveler and if you have business contacts in Japan or Beijing or Shanghai or Hong Kong, yeah, it's absolutely worthwhile to learn either Mandarin or, no, what's the other one? Mandarin, Cantonese. You could learn either one of those. I think you should, if you want to go. But you're not going to like the government structure there. You really won't. Oh, and there's another troll. Get rid of you. Look at that. Mike JQQH, not even a real name, and no followers. Get out of here. 3 strikes and you're gone. Okay, someone says, what do you hate? Do you mean hate? I don't know. Rephrase that, please. Okay. Thoughts on that white kid driving on downtown sidewalk yesterday? Sorry, I don't know that story, so I won't offer an opinion until I actually see that story for myself. I don't make opinions on things that I haven't seen. You clearly haven't seen the old photos of military personnel in drag as part of the entertainment. Yes, I have. Okay, look, I've studied history. USO shows and what the Canadian and the Brits and the French and everybody else used to do. You got to remember, there was a day when women just could not be near soldiers at all. So a couple of soldiers who had a good personality, who were funny and lively, they would dress in drag and dance around so the soldiers had something to distract them from the fact that they were in a war being shot at and the fact that they had to kill people. Now, I know a lot about history, okay? There's no point making a statement like that. But I'm not going to sit here and give you a history lesson. I'm just going to make the commentary that I do know. And you're incorrect to assume that I don't. Okay. Let's have a quick look here. The trolls are making a lot of... I'm just going to ditch a couple of trolls so we have room for the real questions. Let's get rid of the trolls. Block. Confirm. All right. I'm going to keep going through. Oh, here we go. Kevin is a nobody and everybody laughs at him here in Canada. No, I'm quite sure you haven't spoken to everybody in Canada to come to that consensus. But you are a troll, so we're going to ditch you now. Okay, let's go to the most recent messages. Okay. I was okay with him defending our rights in Canada, but he took it too far. No idea what you're talking about. I'm in Canada and I don't know him. Well, Don, now you do. I'm Canada's #1 podcaster. I'm the guy that everybody who works for the Canadian government cannot stand because I smile all the time and I expose their criminality. Hey, Kevin, what happened to the M103 law in Canada? All right. Well, M103 was a motion that said that we had to use all government resources to quell Islamophobia in Canada, and it was presented by a terrorist. Ikra Khalid. She is a maniac, that one. But imagine, Canada, let's go to Ikra Khalid for a second here. You voted for somebody who had to get permission at age 30 from her daddy to run for politics. Then she had to get permission from her daddy to not have to wear a hijab while she ran for politics. You're talking about somebody whose IQ was probably less than 90 and who was not able to construct a full sentence on her own. You voted for her, Canada. In my hometown of Mississauga, you voted to put that person into play. Then she comes forward and lies about the fact that Muslims are somehow under attack in Canada, which they're not. I know a lot of Muslims. I happen to be good friends with Alberta's biggest Muslim scholar and Ontario's biggest and best, most renowned imam. And it's a wonderful thing. The information I get is amazing. But M103, she came forward to frighten the rest of us to state that the government had to quell Islamophobia. But Islamophobia doesn't exist. There's no legal definition for it whatsoever. What she was saying is that she just didn't want anyone to criticize her or anyone like her. Well, it failed. It hasn't been brought into law, but they'll try again. They will try again, everybody. So don't think for a second that that particular motion has been ignored by the government. It will come back, and they will take your rights in this country to speak freely. Is it true that the Dominion of Canada is a registered corporation in Washington, D.C.? Yes, every municipality in Canada also is exactly the same thing. Okay. Have I heard of Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai? Yes, I have. And I hope that the doctor gets a lot more press than they've gotten so far. Believe me when I say that. All right. Okay, so Don, you've never heard of me. All right. You know, there's 2 or 3 people in this country also that haven't. I don't know. Hi, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Okay, someone's calling me Corky Romano. I believe that that's probably the reference that you're making. Funny movie. All right. That's not an insult, by the way, just for the record. Jordan Rawlings is the #1 Canadian broadcaster? Okay, maybe. Opinions vary. I hope he's doing well. Say hi. If you know him, you don't. Say hi to him for me. All right. Have you ever talked about PP buying the leadership of the Conservative Party? Well, that's what they do. Sure. That is what you have to do. If you want to be the leader of any political party of the country, you got to buy it. You just keep throwing money at it. Essentially, whoever raises the most money gets the job. So Pierre Poilievre bought it, just like Andrew Scheer bought it. Everyone bought it. Yeah? It's bought. That's politics. So I'm not happy about it, but I can't change the political structure unless I've got political power of my own, or unless the country sinks into a deep revolution, in which case party politics won't matter at all. But Canadians have no fight in them, so that'll never happen. Okay. What's the best way to fight the bill that's going to cancel naturopathic medicine? Shut the country down. But Canadians would have to understand what that bill is all about. They would have to understand the ramifications of it, which they don't, and they won't educate themselves. And then you have to talk all of them into shutting everything down, protesting around every hospital, every medical clinic, every educational facility. Shut the country down. That's how you get something done. Canadians are lazy and decadent, and they won't do a damn thing to protect themselves. So Canadians are going to lose the right to have access to anything naturopathic. It's how it is, Canada. When you're gutless, everything gets taken from you without a fight. Without a fight. Okay, you laugh like you're unstable. Opinions vary. Okay, I see. So if Libs did what PDP did, you'd be all over it. No, because I know that Justin Trudeau paid his way in too. I know that. You didn't hear me talking about it. There's nothing I can do about that. All right, I cannot change what these parties do. All right, but I will tell you a quick story here. I put my name in to run for leadership of the Wild Rose Party. They wanted a $5,000 deposit from me just to run, then another $5,000 so that I could fill an application out, then another $5,000 at their behest so they could sit there and listen to my reasons why I wanted to be leader. Then I had to hire my own CFO at $25,000 and then give them another fee on top of that. So I said, $50,000 for you to say no? Go F yourself. Our relationship is over. And that was that. I voted for David Pawlowski instead of anybody else. Oh, here. I'm gonna say this one, Duke, the way it sounds to me. Only 46 people in your life. What a joke. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If you leave, it's 45. Bye. So, all right. Man, it's amazing how many insults there are in the room. Like, people in TikTok, why are you so angry? My existence as a middle-aged, gray-haired guy should not bother you this much. But you guys are here. You chose to come to my TikTok page to throw insults out. That's on you. I didn't phone any of you and ask you to join me. Pierre Poilievre is the same as Republicans in the U.S., and they want to install Trump as dictator. Your wording of the question is somewhat biased, but Pierre Poilievre would be the same as Republicans. That's correct, because the Republicans buy their way in too. The Democrats buy their way in too. The Tea Party buys their way in too. I don't know, Don, if you're here to insult me or you're actually asking questions, but I'm telling you that the entire political process in North America, and probably the entire world, is absolutely broken, and money dictates everything, and I can't change it. I can only comment on it. But I do agree with you that Pierre Poilievre paid his way in. All right. Is Pierre Poilievre a career politician paid for by donors? Yes, he is a career politician. He's not a savior. He's not someone like me or Chris Sky or Pastor Archer Pawlowski who showed up, who actually care about people. He doesn't care at all. He is going to be rich for the rest of his life, and he likes it that way. If he becomes prime minister, he'll be richer. But he's not a savior, and he's not going to do much different than Justin Trudeau. He just won't be as radical about it. Okay. There you go. Here's another moron, everybody. Hey, everyone, let's laugh at this guy. Mark Nesbitarana. Yeah. And the $650,000 that you owe. I don't owe that at all. I appealed the decision against me. When you appeal something, which you would know if you had an IQ over 10, which you don't, you know that the appeal has to be heard before that decision can become solid. And I would have to lose the appeal in order for that to happen, which I won't. So, yeah, Mark, get lost. Loser. Next. Oh, I love this one. This is a troll. I'm going to acknowledge this statement and then block the troll. Stop rambling and acknowledge your white privilege. All right, this is something that all left-wingers say. Typically, it's white kids that say this stupid stuff. There's no such thing, by the way, at all. I've actually been denied jobs in Canada because I'm white. I was actually told to my face more than a dozen times, sorry, we're just not hiring white males right now. Right? How condescending is that? You know what that person's saying? That they believe that other races are lesser than whites and that they have to give lesser people a chance. That's essentially what they're saying. I've never said that, but that's been done. So let's get rid of that troll. Bye-bye to you. You have 0 likes in your account, so that means you're nobody. Get out of here. Liberals hate freedom. That's true. Okay. Keep going here. The Western world does not have corruption. We have lobbying. We have both. The lobbyists are corrupt. The politicians are corrupt. The system is corrupt. The lobbyists tend to get what they want if the right amount of money is handed to the right person behind the scenes. Mostly it's money. It really is money, guys. What do I think of Maxime Bernier? Maxime Bernier is somebody who had the leadership of the PC party stolen from him. It was stolen. Andrew Scheer didn't win. It was just granted to him because he was a goof that would do what he was told. And Maxime Bernier wouldn't do what he was told. But Maxime Bernier, even though he is the only politician out there who's in a leadership position who will actually speak with me publicly and be interviewed by me, I respect that. I really do. He's still a politician. And Canadians are not smart enough to even listen to what he's saying. They haven't given his party a chance. They haven't even voted in 1 seat for his party, even though his party, at least his platform, not saying he'll do it and not saying he won't do it, but his platform is the best for Canada, and Canadians aren't paying attention. And that's on Canada. So Maxime Bernier, if I had to pick out of all the party leaders right now, I would pick him. Sorry, I would pick Pastor Artur Pawlowski as part of his party, but Art's provincial, not federal. So I would have to say that I would go with Maxime Bernier. We don't know what he's going to do because he's not been in a position of power yet. But he's still a politician, so I would watch everything he says and does. And I would still be a critic of his because that's my job. 2025 plan in the Republican Party is going to make Trump a dictator if he wins presidency. I don't know, maybe, but that's not their official policy. That's not been stated as the official party policy. So let's see what happens. You and Chris Sky, 2 guys who lost elections but claim were stolen. Chris won Toronto. He won. I won Calgary. I won Mississauga back in 2018 as well, for the record. Those people were placed there. They were selected, not elected. The sooner Canadians figure that out, the better off they're going to be. Oh, here's a good one. Put the pouty face on, okay? Newsflash. You're going to lose the appeal. How do you know? Are you the judge for the case? Are you bribing the judge in the case? Do you even know what a courthouse is? Do you know where they are? You know nothing. So, troll, let's get rid of the troll. And yes, I am mock. Oh, look at that. You got 10 whole likes on your page with no photograph. Coward, troll, bye. What you trolls don't seem to understand is that once in a while, someone like myself comes around who is not bothered by your attacks. It's just bored of them. I am bored. Your attacks are amusing, simultaneously boring. All right. Corrine Mitchell. Hello, Kevin. It's been too long. I finally found you. Keep up with your good work, knowing what you're talking about. Thank you, Corrine. Certainly appreciate that. Absolutely. All right. Someone's calling me a liar. You have no evidence to back that up. White Gen Z here, and white privilege is absolutely a thing. I would need you then, if you're going to say that, Don Rose, to back that up with fact. Let's figure out what I can do as a middle-aged white man that a middle-aged black man or a middle-aged Chinese man or a middle-aged Japanese man or a middle-aged Spanish man cannot do legally. All right? You go ahead and construct a proper argument. Your opinion is noted. I disagree with it because you haven't backed it up with fact. Give that a shot. If you have facts, I will listen to them. Okay. You don't believe that white people in the West have an easier time than coloreds. As it stands right now, the Canadian Criminal Code, Section 319, dictates clearly that white people cannot do anything at all, and that includes make negative commentary towards anybody who's not white. They'll get arrested for it. So, no, I don't. But keep this in mind, all right? What's your name? Death to the West? Oh, another Antifa idiot. Oh, God, you guys are impossible. All right? Nigeria is a black country. As a white man, I would have zero business opportunity there unless I brought millions of dollars with me. Uganda is a black country. I would have zero opportunity there. I would not go to the Sudan because white people get killed on sight in Sudan. So those are black countries. Then I could go to an Arab country, but Arabs would get more privilege than me in their Arab countries. If I go to Japan, there are bars and restaurants and private clubs you cannot go to in Japan if you're not Japanese. That includes Chinese, Vietnamese, white, black, brown, whatever it is. You can't go. The Japanese are openly racist. They are proud of their racism. So everybody will protect what they think that they have. That's just how it is. And if you don't like it, go to a brown country and see how little privilege you have as a white man. I'm a 62-year-old white man looking for work, and I find there's a great deal of age discrimination. Abso-friggin-lutely. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Ageism is actually a problem. If you are a white male over 45, you're not getting jobs in Canada. That's just how it works. Part of the problem is most companies don't understand the importance of the human resources position within their firms. So they fill them with, ready for this, white girls under 25 who are retards. And I know this because the last 12 job interviews I went on before I said, forget this job stuff, is they were all white girls, disinterested, but reading out left-wing rhetoric. So, oh, white men are so privileged and we have to give chances to other races. And like that in itself is a racist and ageist statement. All right. So what I did do, because the last time I heard that, it was actually the trampoline center. I can't name it because they settled at a court and I signed the little agreement there. But I sued them for it because I recorded the conversation where they said that we're not hiring white males right now. They said that and they paid. It was a small amount. I can't say how much because then all of you will go and look it up in the courts. Maybe you won't. And I'm also bound by the fact that I can't tell you what the amount was because I signed off on it. But I sued them and I won. And that's what we all need to do. So, Sweet Guy 62, get glasses that have cameras built in. And as soon as your job interview begins, flick it on and let them spew their crap. Believe me, they will say something stupid like we're just not hiring white males right now. Sue the crap out of them. All right. All right. Antifa, who's babysitting them today? Not sure. Maybe they're so cranky today because mommy and daddy aren't home to change their diapers and the poo is starting to hurt their skin. Maybe. Who knows? Antifa, if you're an Antifa member, you're a weak, you're a wimp, and you're a loser. And remember, I fought 42 of you off myself in Ottawa. You guys couldn't kill me with 42 on 1. You're nothing, and you're nobody. Okay. So you think continually insulting Canadians is going to make you popular. I don't insult Canadians. I tell the truth about my country and my countrymen and women. I tell the truth about it. That's all that I do. It's not an insult. You see, I wish Canadians were as tough today as they were in the 1940s and 1950s, even the 1970s. You know, men were men in this country. They were tough. And women were feminine and just amazing ladies at what they did. I wish Canadians were or are today what they were back then. I don't insult Canadians. I tell them the truth so they can start fixing themselves. Thought you cons didn't like... Oh, here we go. So Dawn has proven herself to be a far left nut. I thought you cons didn't like canceling people. You're blocking everyone that doesn't agree with you. No, I'm just blocking the trolls. You don't agree with me, Dawn. And so long as you stay polite like you've done there, you can stay. The second you get vulgar, you're out. That's trolls suck. They don't bring anything to the table. All right. So I wouldn't let trolls in my house, much like I wouldn't let a cocaine user in my house or my personal life. They bring nothing to the table. Got it? Okay. Maxime is a disgrace to Canadian politics. He was a very senior cabinet minister who had to resign. Every politician's a scumbag. All right? Maxime is not immune to that. Every politician has skeletons. They all do. Politics is a filthy game. It is horrendously filthy. Okay. It's literally their platform. So, Don, you're telling me that the 2025 Republicans will make Trump a dictator. You're telling me that the Republican Party came right out and said, hi, America, we're going to make Trump our leader. We're going to make sure he wins the election, and then we're going to burn the Constitution and take all your rights away and implement Trump as a dictator to the new, dictatorship of America? You really think that's their platform? It's not. Show it to me. Now you're being silly. Okay. Okay. So user 577, whatever, get out of here, fascist. Tell you what. I'm just going to boot you. Let's have a look and see how many followers you have. Nobody. You are a nobody. You don't even have an icon up. Bye-bye. There you go. Okay. This is better than the Comedy Network. Wonderful. Yeah, the trolls are kind of funny, aren't they? It's even funnier when I just get rid of them. Bro, the fact that you aren't in prison is white privilege at its finest. When you have things on appeal, you don't go to prison. That's not white privilege. That's the rules of the court. You should read them. Idiot. Stupid. You. Stupid. All right. Don's telling me white privilege is a thing. I have to look around. Oh, man. They just get dumber every week, don't they? The left wing. Do they not just get dumber all the time? Have you noticed that? I'm going to address, I'm not going to address TikTok here. I will address Rumble, DLive, and everybody else. Do you notice that? Like, do people just seem to be getting stupider as each week goes on? Yeah, make some commentary in the Facebook pages there. Let's have a look. And Rumble. God, man. White privilege, white privilege, white privilege, white privilege, white privilege. You people, you're monkeys. Screaming. All right. What are my thoughts on the Alberta Prosperity Project? Like every other project, it's going to get a lot of funding and it's going to fail. Nobody's dedicated to anything anymore, especially in politics, especially when there's a political gain to be had. People in this country, and I really wish this wasn't true, but they don't follow through. If they get paid, they leave. I hate that. I really do. So it's not going to go anywhere. No one is saying other countries don't have privilege. We are talking about our country. So you're going to sit there and tell me that the law favors me? The law favors me? Remember, they locked me up because they said, oh, you can't make comments about other races. That's not white privilege. That's communism, fascism, like you. Okay. Blacks, gays, and Hispanics can't go to Florida anymore? Are you out of your mind? That is absolutely not true. I'm going to start ignoring you. Don, I'm not going to block you unless you start swearing, but you're just making stuff up now. Okay. You're living in an indigenous country. You go find a white one. Wrong. The word indigenous is an offensive term because it doesn't mean anything. Human beings are indigenous only to Africa. I covered this yesterday. Human beings migrated all over the world. So nobody is indigenous to the Middle East. Nobody is indigenous to Europe or to Russia. No one's indigenous to South America, Middle America, Mesoamerica, Central America, America, Canada. Everybody got here at some point after our inception as a species. It's just how it is. So this is not, you might be trying to say it's an Indian country, native Indian country. It's not. There were wars between Indians and whites, Indians and Indians, whites and Indians. So the wars were all over the place. And the Indians lost. And that's what happens. When you lose, when your battle tactics are inferior to the army coming in, you lose. Okay, so TikTok just blocked my live for a week. This is the second time this has happened to everybody. When you tell the truth, all the losers out there, they just start hitting the button saying complain, 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 complain. So I cannot go live on TikTok now until August the 7th. Isn't that very interesting? Violation, hate speech, and hateful behaviors. Does anybody think I said anything hateful? Or did I just tell the truth and the left wing can't handle it? So I'm going to submit my appeal. Appeal submitted. It takes 24 hours. So they're going to have to watch an hour 40 worth of live broadcast on TikTok to then decide for themselves if they're going to allow the appeal to go through. But on TikTok, if a video does get taken down, you need to appeal it immediately because about 9 out of 10 times, whenever they take a video down off of TikTok, I appeal it with a reason and they put the video right back up. So the problem with TikTok is that all the left-wing losers in the world are on it. I mean, if you're stupid, you're on TikTok. If you're left-wing, you're on TikTok. If you're a fascist pig or an Antifa member, you're on TikTok. It's just how it is. So it's very, very difficult to know what to say and what not to say on TikTok. So what I will do is I will go live on Instagram tomorrow, and we'll do the same thing. Not tomorrow, sorry. Tomorrow's the show. Wednesday, we'll do the same thing. We'll just ignore TikTok for a little while, let the left-wingers calm down, cool down, have their tea or whatever they need, or their diapers changed or whatever they need to not be so uptight. And we're going to do this again. We're going to keep doing this. The questions are actually a lot of fun. All right. And I know that you guys are saying don't address the trolls, but I do to show the world how stupid they are. I want everybody here on Rumble, Facebook, DLive, and Twitch to know how pathetic our society really is. So, ta-da! Here we go. There you go, Nancy. You're correct. Their mommies can make them chicken tendies, and they can change their diapers, and they can wipe their noses and so on. That's just how it is. All right, everyone, listen up. This room has no air conditioning, and the window is closed because dogs were barking earlier today. Look at me. I'm sweating. I'm sweating here. Look, the glaze on my arms here. So tomorrow, Tuesday, the 1st of August, at 7 p.m. Calgary time, 9 p.m. Toronto time, we're going to talk about the Coots 4. We absolutely cannot have you miss that show. So let me see if I've got the Coots 4. Oh, I do. There you go. The Coots 4. We have a former Toronto police officer who's also a former detective who he's exposed a lot of corrupt cops, and they put him in jail for that. He's going to talk about the Coots 4 and police corruption. You're not going to want to miss this show. So make sure you share it out to absolutely everybody. We need to fill the room tomorrow. We need 30,000 people or more watching the Coots 4 show tomorrow. So please, if you could, just do me the favor, get busy and email this out to everybody. That's it for now, everybody. All right, we'll see you on tomorrow's show. I love you all. Thanks for being here. See you later.